Patisserie G again, and I wanted to actually use the next few minutes to take you through one of the lessons that I learned starting back a few years ago. I remember I was in the UK, and it was my first few months as a team leader in sales. I was leading a team of initially 5 people, and then we scaled them up to a certain point being 12 people. And one thing that I remember it became very important for me was a lesson, or was a was a concept that one of my mentors back in the days gave me. And he told me, fully remember that whatever you think, whatever you do, remember that what you permit, you promote. And I didn't really grasp that at the very beginning, but what you permit, you promote is actually very important concept to grasp. What you permit, you promote, what does it mean? Well, what you permit, you promote applies to many different things, but definitely when it comes to leadership, it applies to leading by example. So think of the situation in which, and probably if you are in a corporate environment or if you are leading a team, you end up having your days in which you are full of energy, you are definitely inspiring, you come to the office and everything looks rocking. You are over the moon, you're very happy, the team is seeing you and is receiving the energy from you. And your guys start actually following you, and they share this energy with clients, with colleagues, and everything goes well. Now, what if you permit yourself to come to the office and being very grumpy and making it very apparent? So, well, in that situation, and probably you have been at the receiving end of this, you start thinking that actually having a bad day and coming to the office and sharing this bad mood with other people is actually something that is acceptable. Man, I'm not really saying that you cannot have bad days. We all can have bad days. But you need to be aware that if you are a leader or if you want to lead other people, there are certain things that you can permit yourself to do and certain things that you cannot, because then other people will think that it is as normal, it's a standard that you're setting. Let me give you another example. Let's say that you arrive late for meetings, and the person that you're meeting in the past has always been punctual. In the moment in which you start arriving late and you're making it appear like it's something that is acceptable, then the next time around the person that you're meeting will feel entitled to arrive a bit late. Why? Well, because you've been the first one doing it. And this actually can really spiral out of control. Let's say that you arrive late in the morning for a number of days. Is not really justifiable. The reason why you're arriving, you're just setting the expectation that arriving late, it is acceptable. Well, it's a bit like promoting the fact that everyone can arrive late. And then, of course, you find yourself in a situation that you can no longer control. Many things, like overreacting. If you permit yourself or if you permit people in your team to overreact, then other people will think that actually it is possible. And think of many different areas in which if you permit someone in your team or if you permit yourself to set negative behaviors, then other people will feel entitled to actually follow those behaviors and not expecting any negative repercussion coming to them. What about in life? And this is something that applies to us as individuals when we talk about personal leadership, self-leadership. If you permit yourself for a sustained period of time to fall into bad habits, you will start feeling like entitled to go over and beyond. So let's say that you want to keep yourself in track with your diet, and you permit yourself for several days to actually overeat. over time you start thinking that, well, come on, I've been overeating for a number of days. One more day is not going to make a big deal. But that's exactly the reason why you will start actually spinning out of control, overeating, or over drinking, or over smoking, or over whatever it is. So, in general, remember that you should not allow yourself, first of all, permitting yourself negative behaviors in an environment in which you need to lead people, because this will allow them to think that it's possible to do it. You should not allow people in your team to do negative things, because then other people in the team will look it like permit to continue on the wrong path. You should not allow some people in your team to have a better treatment compared to others unless you're able to justify why that is the case. But even then, you need to be aware that what you permit, you promote. Remember this, guys. In the moment in which you are in an environment and you are little people, remember, always stick to what you know is right, and make sure that you don't incentivize, you always push back on what is wrong. I can I can go on and on, but the reality is that this is the most important thing that I've learned in the first few days of leadership, and it always brought me good things. And you can believe me, it's going to make a massive improvement in the moment in which you start setting the right expectations in your team. You stick to it, and you can cut many of the hideous conversations that will come if you don't stick to this good habit. So you remember, what you permit, you promote. Remember this every time you need to take a leadership decision, or every time that you have strange requests coming from your team, or requests to go over and beyond outside of what you are willing to accept. Hope this helped. Have a good day. Bye.